I'm Allison.
I'm Cinnamon, and panting off screen is Teddy Bear, if you can hear him.
Come on in, join us.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I try to, immediately when I start pretending that the kids
Good morning, it's the morning meeting show. It's early in the morning and we're gonna go slow because we haven't had our tea yet.
We do need catchphrases and a catch song.
Well, maybe that last line will always change. But Cinnamon's the one that wrote that song. You can probably go back to episode 3.
But was that you?
I was trying to copy your song.
Oh.
You didn't know I was copying your song?
Well, I knew you were copying that. I did a song, but I didn't remember.
I edited that episode, and I heard that song about 15 times during editing, so it's burrowed in my brain.
Okay. I was like, I just sang it once off the cuff. I don't remember it at all. What's wrong with my brain? But it's because you were editing that episode.
But what episode? Was it 3 or 4? I guess it was 3. Episode 3. Because you edited 4.
4, I did.
I do the odds and you do the
evens. Okay.
Not always, though. Because I guess it is always, is it? Who knows? Have you left?
Are you still with us?
Come back.
Come on.
Come back.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah. Heave. Oh, you're supposed to join.
Oh.
Heave. Ho. Heave. Ho.
What did you call me? All right. This morning's tea, by the way, we're doing this very early in the morning. Usually we do it in the afternoon.
Usually, the day before or 2 days.
I was going to say usually like 48 hours before, and we've had 2 days in LA, and we thought we thought we had enough in the. We had 2 in the can.
We thought we had some in the can, and
we did our math wrong. We're up at 6 a.m. We hope you can't tell, but we have English breakfast.
Is that what it is?
Highly caffeinated.
Is it? Oh, no. For those who know me, and for those who don't, but have seen episode 1, where we talked about caffeine and my.
Ooh, that's a. I let that steep a little. That is, you could start a car with that.
That is strong. And we're out of milk, so there's no cream in it.
I don't usually put milk in mine, but I know you do.
I love mine.
I sugar it, but I tried to sugar yours less because I know.
I thank you for that.
I
like my tea creamy. But I know, you know that I like it hot, and I saw that you boiled it twice. I like it to sing for a long time.
If there's a temperature, I'm just petting Max over here. If there's a temperature that is stronger than boil, that's what Sin likes.
I like it on an 11.
Sin likes it as vapor. She captures it
just above. Drink it down. I like it. because I like it creamy. So it needs to be super hot, so when I add the cream, it balances.
Because the cream is cold.
Yeah. Because I went to a tea room yesterday.
Oh, so I was going to say, Cinnamon, you have a story for me. I stayed on the mountain.
Well, that's not my story.
You're not going to tell
I had something else I wanted to say really quickly. But I'll just say I went to a tea room yesterday.
You're not going to tell the tea room story.
I'll say it very briefly. But
Go ahead, I might use it. I'm editing.
Before I tell that story, I just want to say I went to a tea room yesterday and they served the tea without cream, but it was tepid tea.
Ooh.
So in my mind, to justify it so I wouldn't lose my marbles, I thought to myself, well, if I'd added the cream, it'd be iced tea. So it's a good thing they didn't serve cream. I was going to ask the gentleman if he could please bring me cream, but
Cinnamon likes to have third-degree burns on her lips by the time she's finished drinking her tea. Well,
okay, so
it's a very enchanting tea room. I thought you would mention.
So we'll talk about what we did yesterday. So yesterday I was in LA and Elsa was on the mountain.
We had different schedules yesterday. Sometimes we're synchronized with our schedules because we're doing things collaboratively.
Co-writing or co.
Yesterday was we always call it a Coyote day when we are completely separate because we have a lone
coyote. We
have a lone coyote that always goes. So we're like, code word coyote means I'll see you tomorrow.
When I see you.
And it's usually because our schedules are. So Cinnamon was in LA doing things, which she'll tell you about. I was on the mountain. It was my Saturday yesterday because I didn't have anything on my docket whatsoever. I went to the bagel place that I absolutely love.
Which I totally called. As I had to head down early in the morning. And I said to Alison as I was leaving, I was like, are you going to go to the name of the place? I didn't say the full name. The name of the place that Alison loves to go for breakfast. And you did.
I did. I went and but I made the terrible mistake of taking your dog Teddy with me because I put him in my car when we were moving our cars around and he wouldn't come out of the car. So I was like, well, you can come with me for breakfast. And then I got worried that he was in the car. So I kept,
you didn't come out of the car for breakfast?
No, I didn't bring a leash. He was just in the car. Oh. They have a patio where I could have, if I brought a leash, but I didn't bring a leash. So I didn't want to leave him in the car. He didn't have a leash for the patio, so I had to get everything to go and eat on my lap in the car, which wasn't as wasn't as charming. Wasn't as charming. Yeah, no, and talk about tepid. the chai tea was.
Oh, I was gonna guess. I was gonna say, can I guess what you ordered?
Go ahead.
Did you get a raisin bagel toasted with butter on the side and a chai tea?
I did. Normally I get an iced chai tea. This time I had a hot chai tea, which means I actually had an iced chai tea because it was very, very cold. So what is it with temperatures lately?
Speaking of temperatures, when I left the mountain yesterday, it was 46 degrees, freezing. So right now we're in that changing of seasons where it is super cold in the mornings. But then it was by the time I came back up, which was around 4, it was 80.
It was 80? Oh, I did not. I missed that heat wave.
But my car said it was 79, but still 79, 80, that's splitting hairs. But in LA, so I left here at 46, and within, the 4-hour drive down to LA, it was 89.
Oh,
So
in
it
LA.
was like stepping in from winter to summer in 4 hours.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to talk about. So our drive, it's 172 miles. Should take about 3 hours, but with traffic, it takes about 4. We have to allow for 4 hours each way. I looked up Norwalk, Connecticut, where we used to live. And do you know?
Where we were born, it's our hometown.
Yes, yeah, hometown.
Well, where we used to live makes it sound like.
Oh, I see. So, do you know that when you drive for 167 miles, so not even 172, from Norwalk, you're in Boston?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Boston, I would go to Boston maybe once, twice a year. That was considered, we got very used to being everything's very close up in New England, right? So
yeah,
Boston was like, ooh, across the
I'm gonna take a long weekend to Boston. Yeah.
So that was once or twice a year. Meanwhile, 2, 3, 4 times a week driving down to LA, 8-hour round trip.
It's a lot. On that note, I'll just quickly say that up here in the mountains, we have a neighbor. I think it's their vacation home that we only see them maybe twice a year. And
which neighbor? Because a lot of our this one right here.
The one with the
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And they were out there like busy bees, like quickly, they were mowing and gathering, and they're like, "Did you get the notice?" And we're like, "Oh, what notice?" And they're like, "Because of fire hazard with the National Forest is here, and we're in the mountains, and end of August, early September, I guess, is
fire season."
Yeah. So they said, "Oh, you get a notice saying you have to, mow your lawns, make sure all the debris, get rid of all the leaves, get rid of all the pine needles. There's a lot of pine needles, and then if you don't do it exactly to expectations, you get another notice. But this one is a fine, and it's like quite a hefty fine, according to our neighbors. Now,
and then a third one, like the first fine is a couple $100. The third fine, he says,
they cart you away.
No, he says thousands of dollars.
They put you in jail. It seemed very alarming when they were describing it. But the thing is, because we're full time here, we're constantly. I think we do a really good job of the pine needles are dealt with. The only thing that isn't dealt with by choice is we don't mow the lawn because we planted. We had a ton of clover
for pollinators,
and we also have wildflowers. So yesterday, while you were away, I was like, okay, I took out the little the weed whacker and was like, I'm gonna, it's the deadline. I'm gonna quickly get rid of some of the, but I didn't want to mow the clover.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to mow, I looked up what the little purple flowers are, which I'll tell you in a sec. So I was having to mow around everything. So that left like maybe a 3 square foot area
of the bonsai grass. Bonsai grass that we use.
So I was like mowing, and I was like, I hope I hope it looks like a garden. I hope they can see that it's clover.
We'll have to insert photograph here. But
there's a purple wildflower in our front yard, and I googled it.
Oh, you did look it up.
Okay. It's a Pacific aster. It is related to the sunflower, and it is a butterfly garden staple. It draws butterflies here, and we have them all over. So
we're really trying to get some pollinators in the yard. We do have hummingbirds.
We do, and Sin has lavender that has like drawn every hummingbird.
I brought it from OC, and so I'm very excited to have the lavender survive. Because now that it's getting so cold at night, we're gonna have to start bringing plants in.
Well, one last little thing for chit chat. I thought, I noticed that in morning meetings, when you Google one thing that some.
Oh, you keep Googling and not just asking me the actual morning meeting lead-up.
I wish I knew someone who was an expert in morning meetings, but I trust Google. So introducing vocabulary and new expressions is often morning meetings a good time to teach your group new expressions. When I used to teach high school, middle school, I feel like I was very au courant with all of the slang and
I
expressions.
remember you. Yes, you very
And
much were.
now I feel like I'm watching the Big Brother live feeds, and there's a couple very young, like there's a 21-year-old young on the show.
Contestants or
and
participants.
it's like I'm like Google Translate, like I'm having trouble, and I'm like, oh, why is this so hard? In the past, I feel like I totally know. So today's
You don't really use Google Translate, do you?
no, I don't. So
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think it can do slang.
I might. I don't know. I was really trying. So you seem like you. I know
No.
I know that the phrase they keep saying is feeling some type of way, right?
We're gonna cut because that's
That's
just
exactly what it is.
okay.
Oh. Stop. Just let people. That's called being organic banter.
No, it's not
I
organic.
didn't know that. I
Cut,
didn't see that.
act
on
surprised.
your-
So today's expression is I'm gonna set it up a
If
little
it's been a
bit.
cut, it's because I guessed it, but I didn't realize. I wasn't.
I wasn't gonna cut it. That was the joke. Can you just
Allison, you gotta relax. That caffeine. That
please?
caffeine is sending you into to level 12.
Let me just say, I know also morning meetings, they do an EQ, like an emotional check-in. And you have to use words like, I feel frustrated. I feel angry. What are synonyms for frustrated and angry? You know how they have the little posters with like,
Yes.
because right now the popular expression is not to label your emotions or to use precise vocabulary. You just say, I'm feeling some type of way.
How come they don't use descriptors?
So you say, so I know I'm feeling some type of way. I Googled it because I was like, what type of way? What type of way are you feeling? I was like, that could cover so many. Are you joyful? Are you depressed? What's your some type of way? But when you say I'm feeling some type of way, it means
You're feeling something. You just don't want to tell the person?
no. It means when you Google on Urban Dictionaries, you're feeling overwhelmed by something, so you can't
Oh,
express
so
what
some type of
that
way.
type of way
It
is.
defies description.
You can't use a vocabulary word because you're some type of way.
I'm feeling some type
I'm
of
feel-
way.
so I thought I was going to challenge each of us by the end of this show. We each have to use some type of that new expression.
Oh, I just did. Does mine count? Or again, beyond that? I will. I will. I can see. I saw your eyes flit. I'm starting to be able to. I'm feeling some type of way.
Sid, don't be
feeling
upset
some
about
type-
how.
I'm not
Don't be
upset.
upset.
I'm feeling some type of way.
Are you feeling some type of way? All right.
Well, I
all
want
right.
to say
Enough
very,
of
very
that.
quickly. Well, I did want to say, just to wrap it up, since you said what you did you didn't say that you actually went to a movie and you went to, like, you had
I
very
truncated the
relaxed-
day. I did. It was a good day. It was a
You had
good,
a
I didn't
very
want to talk about
relaxed-
the movie. That's why I was
Oh,
like,
well, you don't want
let's
to talk
skip
about the
over
movie, but you went to a movie and you had,
that. Yeah.
did you have popcorn?
I did have popcorn. Yeah.
The small or the kitty size?
No, I got the small.
Oh, okay. Was that your lunch?
That was my lunch. What's happening here?
Well, no, I the reason I asked is because I was going to see if you went out to eat. So that was just
Well, I did
genuine
for
curiosity.
breakfast. I did for. Can you mention your tea party thing?
Well, so that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Good.
what I
All
was
right. Okay.
So for my day, I had to be in LA by 11:45.
Yeah.
Which meant I left here. At I wanted to leave here at 7:45. I ended up leaving a little bit after 8, like a minute or two after.
Sin's always
8.
a little bit late with her departures.
What?
Do you disagree?
Yeah.
You're a little bit late. You're usually about I would say anywhere between.
Based on what?
Ouch.
What? I'm going to say that sentence again because it really upsets me because I'm not late.
I said it
I was
knowing you
actually
would get a
very-
reaction because I want to keep things very.
Instead of saying things to incite rage, why don't we say things to
Are you
lift up
feeling
and
some type of
encourage?
way?
So I left. So I had an appointment at 11:45, which meant I left around 7:45.
You wanted
And-
to, but you left a little later than you planned.
So I got there early. The meeting went faster than I thought it would, and so I had a little extra time. I knew that I wanted to be back in the mountain by dinner because it's a 4-hour drive, and I didn't want to do rush hour traffic, which makes it.
It's not fun to do it in the dark for sure.
No,
There's a lot of mountain roads.
because there's a lot of. By the time you get to the mountain, if the sun has set, then there are no street lights, there are no tail lights in front of you. So I had extra time, and I have a membership to Huntington Gardens. Thank you, Tan Gibbs. That was a Christmas gift. And I went to Huntington Gardens and decided to splurge on their tea room. And so I walked in there and I didn't have a reservation. I tried to make one like on the walk over and there were no slots available. So I walked in and they're like, do you have a reservation? And I was like, I tried to make one, but I don't think it worked. And she's like, name? She's like, no, there is no reservation for you. So I was like, oh, do you do walk-ins? And she's like, we will put you on our wait list. Little Edgar was my waiter, he came up to me and he was like, you know, because there's only 2 options on the
So
menu. There's only 2 options on the menu, so I said, I knew what I was ordering, so I said I'll have the traditional tea.
Yeah.
He's like, anything I should know? And I was like, I'm vegetarian, I'm not vegan, so if I can have the real butter, because it was like vegan butter, vegan cream cheese on the cucumber sandwich. I was like, so I can have like the cream and the, he's like, he didn't write anything down. He's like, got it. And he left, and I was like, oh no. Because he's like taking the vegan menu, you know, to the cook, and he's going to say 1 traditional tea. And I was like, so I don't know. I don't know if what I ate was vegan or not. I couldn't tell the difference.
Well, if you couldn't tell the difference, it probably wasn't vegan. I think vegan, you can tell the difference.
That's what I thought. Well, the cream had no flavor, the whipped cream. So I was like, is this the whipped coconut milk or whatever it is?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But it was delicious. I have to say it was delicious.
Well, the pictures you brought back, and I will insert some here. The pictures were quite charming. Very charming. So.
Oh, it was lovely.
Very charming.
Really, it was a wonderful tea. I would do it again if it didn't cost you $400.
I wish I'd taken a picture of me eating my bagel on my lap in the car. Insert here.
Did you?
Didn't.
Oh.
So there won't be a picture.
Oh, so no picture.
All right, Alexa, what is the weather today?
The current weather is 48 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. You can expect more of the same today, with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 45 degrees.
Do you see that range?
Autumn has come. It is
45.
48 right now. I was wondering why I was
with a low of 45 to. Do you see that range? It's intense.
All right, so now
we go from winter to summer in one day.
We're going to do story time.
I have an item.
Do you have an item
that
for
is
me?
hiding in plain sight? Can you guess what it is? I have an item. I'm going to give Allison an item, and she's going to tell the story associated with that item.
Oh no. I can't see anything. I want to tell a story about.
Oh no.
What is it? So are you picking?
No.
You didn't choose an item?
I did. I thought about this last night.
You did.
No,
I just saw your eyes do this.
Because I was thinking to myself, this is going to backfire again. The whole reason we're doing this is because the one last time, the item I gave you, you didn't like the story. You're very picky, Allison.
I'm not picky.
Reflect on me.
Last time, Cinnamon handed me a teddy bear that was a dog toy and said, tell a story about that.
The dogs fought over it. It was a huge thing that you had to intercede.
Well, I didn't want to tell that story. It was a sad story. Not sad, but
this.
There's one side I don't like.
Which one?
Well,
that one?
Yeah, because it's a cigarette brand.
It's a cigarette brand. Allison doesn't want to show
for the kids.
For the kids. So this is the item because I think it's a fun story.
All right, this is actually a fun story.
It is. Thank you. I've redeemed myself.
All right, so this is a little okay, before I tell you this story, I have to set it up just really, really quickly and say, when I was living in LA and autumn was coming, I wanted to get an apple box.
Like an antique apple box.
Yeah, for my books. I set them up on end and I use them to put books or shelving.
We have one behind me.
Well, that's the story. One day, Cin's gonna learn not to do the punchline. Then we're doing a knockdown joke when Cinnamon's around. Cin's like, is it this? Banana who? Anyway, so on Etsy or eBay, whatever it was at the time, I ordered an apple box. I ordered 3 because I thought the price was excellent. I thought the shipping price was excellent. So I ordered 3 apple boxes and I was already planning, I'm going to stack them and I'm going to have this be my library and this is my... So I came home from school, from teaching one day, and there was like a little teeny tiny box in front of my door from Etsy or eBay. I really don't remember which one it was. And I was like, what did I only ordered 3 large apple boxes. What could this be? I opened it up. I don't know if you've seen Spinal Tap, but when on the napkin, when they do like the Stonehenge that they want on the stage, and they do, instead of feet, they do inches. So instead of a 3-foot monolith or whatever it was supposed to be, this is the apple box. I got 3 of these. I just remember being like, what? So I have...
Suddenly the price was too high for something that small.
I was like, I would call these like kid blocks or so. Like these are like what
building blocks,
yeah, like anyway. But fun little side note is at this particular apartment that I was living in LA, my parking space neighbor was our handyman in the building. And very sweet man.
Did he live on the premises or he just always parked
No,
there?
he lived on the premises and he parked next to me and he was in his 90s.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. And actually, right before I moved, They were he was going into a residence, like a home to,
Oh.
very, very,
A
very
senior
sweet
care-
gentleman. And we would chat, and he had 2 antique apple boxes.
Like real sized apple.
Yeah, that he
box.
kept his tools in, but one was empty. One was full and one was empty. And so I wrote him a note once, and I said, if you ever are looking to get rid of the empty apple box, I would love to buy it from you. And then one day I came, and the apple box was in my parking space with a note, and he said, you know, you don't have to buy this from me, or what. It was very sweet. And I was like, this is for you. He's like, I would love to grab a coffee someday or whatever. And I always regret we never did, because shortly thereafter I was moving and he moved. He was this very sweet, polite man. I still have the note, and I still have the apple box, and it was very, very, very sweet.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Is it? We'll edit that then right there. Let's do a little show and share.
How about
Did you have something else in mind?
day in history? Is that a show and share?
Let's do,
Is that
yeah.
a show and share?
Well, the show and share often is day in history, and today Cinnamon's doing show and share, so that's on you.
Well, I want to say that since 2 things I wanted to show for show and share.
Are you stalling?
No. A year ago today, we had talked about, earlier in this episode, we talked about fire season. You had mentioned.
When you point, you've got 3 fingers pointing at you.
We had talked about fire season earlier in the episode,
yeah.
and a year ago today was when we had literally a fire in it was in our backyard. It was.
Allison, here is your reminder. Ladies, it's time to wrap up.
Okay, I'm wrapping
Stay
up.
safe. Be careful.
Allison, here is your reminder.
Alexa, thank you. Alexa, stop.
Abs-
So finish the fire story.
So a year ago today, there was the fires on
Was
the.
it? I thought it was 2 years ago. Are you sure it was a year ago? It was a year ago?
Mhm. And it was on the ridge right
Yeah.
behind.
That was a year ago? I honestly thought that was 2 years ago.
No, it was a year ago.
Were all of us, even like our brother-in-law and our sister?
No, that's the other fire. That was the first year we were
Oh,
here.
okay. Because there was
This
one where
is
we
the fire that
all
was-
descended on our parents' house,
For a week.
but there
'cause
were
we
like every bedroom used, more animals than Noah's Ark.
It was a lot. It was our other sister, her husband, our niece, Al, and I. We were all there for a week, but it was a fast week. It was fun. We did lots of board games and things.
So
That
this
was
one,
not this.
No, this one was just, it was really quick. So we grabbed everything, went down, and then when we got down there, I was like,
The cats.
the cats. I should probably get the cats, because I've partially feral, literally labeled as partially feral cats that I rescued, who are super, super shy, and they hide in my room. So I came all the way back up, and let me just say, wrangling those cats is so tricky. But yeah,
It
I
is
did
tricky.
it.
You literally have to.
Throwing the mattress
I
off
was
the
gonna say
bed.
you literally
I
have
was-
to remove
yeah,
them.
I was
Well, there goes the punchline.
Are you feeling some type of way?
You literally have to take your mattress off the bed to get the cats, because they always hide under your bed. And Allison's got a queen size bed, so she always has to remove the mattress
Yeah.
just to get to the cats. All right, Lovey, thinking
Thank
about
you, Lovey. Do unto others.
as you would have them do unto you.
No.